sometimes, Pat, people don't want to change off of the class that they're used to playing, even
That's true.
if there's hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line.
That is the most people like lock in and become obsessed. They get tattoos, right? They just like, I gotta go for it no matter what.
All I know is another day, another Marvel Rivals drama. Apparently, another event happened where somebody got into a fight with someone else because they refused to switch off of the character that they were losing as, and there was $300,000 on the line.
Well, hey, listen, if you feel comfortable and you want to play the character that you want to play the character that you want to play. However, that's your prerogative. Your team's prerogative is to fucking win, and if you, through your decisions or play, cause them to lose, it's their prerogative to kick your ass later. Like that's just the way it is.
I have to say, because this is particularly, like, I know this is something that must happen in every team-based game where you must play a role with no copies, right? You must play a single-use character.
I think it's broader than that. I think it's any team-based game has the guy who you tell, hey, can you stop doing that? You're not good at that. No, I can do it. I can totally do it. I can get past Jordan. I can do it.
So well, here's the thing, right? I don't know how much it applies to other games and here's where my ignorance will just fully show. Deadlock, what little I know of Deadlock and from playing it a little bit, I'm not sure how much the character you play is going to affect your team, and when you're all playing in kind of separate ways. Sometimes you're with each other, sometimes you're not, you're doing your laning and stuff, and I feel like there's moments in Deadlock where I don't know if it's going to be as aggressive about, hey, get the fuck off of this character, switch to that or so, compared to games like Overwatch, where you're all on the same point together in these moments, right?
Okay, I got you. Okay, so it's the same, but with a couple key differences. Deadlock lives in the MOBA universe. And the reason by that is you pick your character and you're locked. That's it. That's the character you're playing for the whole match, right?
Yeah.
League, Dota, or Heroes of the New Earth, whatever the fuck, same thing with Deadlock, right? So the main difference here is that it just front loads the argument.
Okay.
So everyone's picking their characters.
Yeah.
On a timer, and everyone's banning a character or two characters on a timer, right? So it takes the entire fight and relegates it to that like 2-minute period right at the beginning where you're like, I'm gonna play Darius. Dude, Darius doesn't work good with our comp. You need to fucking pick Ilaoi or fucking Timo or whatever. I'm out of date on League.
But you don't know how the person's gonna play.
And you're like, but I'm going to play Darius. And this means that the argument is going to happen in the team comp decision. Then the argument will be over because you'll all lock in, right? And this leads to only one remaining outcome, which is blame.
Yes, sure.
And that blame
stays constant.
Can start before the match has actually started.
Yeah, because the moments I'm familiar with are certainly the Overwatch and Rival style. Get the fuck off of Moon Knight. I can play a better Moon Knight. You're not doing it. Get like you're just throwing, right? And
a not uncommon scenario in any one of these is for you to pick the character you think is cool and then go, okay, I'm going to go get the enemy and walk down a lane. And unknown to you, you've picked the wrong character and you've walked down the wrong lane. Now, is this because you don't know any better? No, it's because you're a piece of shit who wants to ruin everybody's day. That's why. You motherfucking bitch. So, like, when I say that MOBAs feel like they were cooked up in a lab to make people go crazy, this is the shit that I'm talking about. Like the lock in on character for like a 40-minute game makes people go crazy.
Yeah. And look, I've had moments where I have expressed to the team that I'm like, look, I'm not a great healer, but if no one else is going to do it and you all are just stuck here, then I'll take Jeff and I'll do my best, but you're not going to get great heals from me because I'm not a great healer. I'll do it if no one else is fucking doing it, though.
Mediocre heals is probably significantly better than nothing.
That's what I'm saying. I'll take the hit, but don't expect much, you know? So all this to say, when I see a story like this where it gets toxic in a influencer tournament and you know, people won't switch off and whatever, and there's of course there's different levels of influencers like fame you know, on the teams because they're all mixed and matched. So for some people the prize matters way more than others, right?
Yeah.
For some people it's just like, oh, who cares, whatever, it's just another paycheck. And for some it's like, this is a humongous opportunity, please please let me, you know, help here and please let's win. So what I kind of wonder about with these types of things is there a way, or should there be a way for the game to have essentially, because this is a bad look on the main stage from Marvel Rivals for this to constantly be happening, is there a way to have a like coin flip in the middle of the match level, like I want to switch to this character, you won't switch off or whatever? Is there something we can do to go like, okay, we'll both just flip a coin to see who gets it, and then one person takes over if you don't want
Absolutely not.
So
there's no way.
So it just has to be first come first serve, and if I sit on it, too bad. That's the only way to do it.
Well, okay, let me like, okay, listen. We're 2 quarters in.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, make him stop hogging the ball. Make him stop hogging the ball. Make him pass the ball. No, I don't want to. I want to make all the points. It's good for my averages. Make him stop. The only thing the coach can actually do to make somebody stop hogging the puck, hog the ball, is bench him.
But we're talking about a game where you have a team of people that can vote.
Yeah.
So a majority of the team can agree to something and force it to happen, or at the very least put the opportunity up.
So here's the problem. You can't fucking make someone do what they don't want to do. No,
you cannot. You cannot make it.
You can't act right.
Yes, and so that's where
the only option is
and it's distracting as fuck to have to deal with a vote inside the system while you're playing the game, trying to win the point. Right? That's the least of your worries. When you you know, but I'm kind of just wondering, like, in a situation like this where this sucks that it keeps happening with Marvel Rivals, and again, it looks terrible. And people get properly chewed out after the fact. But I kind of wonder if the game implemented a system where the team could go, yeah, you know what? Actually, I vote that we should see like switch off healer or whatever the case is, and then the dispute is handled, and the blame will continue, right? But like the game will be the coin flip that decides how that works out.
Are you talking about games in which are you talking online games or in-person games?
I'm talking about like playing a specific. Okay, let's talk about the Marvel Rivals in this context, in a tournament on a team of 6.
Okay, so.
You know, or 5 or whatever. Anyway,
so the biggest problem, right, is you can't make anybody do what they want to do. And if you tell somebody to, no, you must play blank or your other character or whatever, there's a very not insignificant proportion of people that will go, you can't make me do shit, and I'm not
quitting. Yeah, that's certainly possible too.
Which means that the actual solution is you need to then build teams to have alternates.
Right. So then what you would have to do is you'd have to have a tournament mode where the rules of the tournament say that for this to not, okay, what you're describing being toxic amongst the regular people outside of a high profile fucking event is one thing. For a high profile event, I could see a rule where they go, we have a conflict and we have a conflict resolution system specifically for this type of thing, because it keeps happening and there's gotta be a way to solve it.
So traditionally, the conflict resolution for this is that the people on your team are professionals we're talking about Marvel Rivals, so that's not a factor here. Following up on that, a coach usually would have the ability to bench a problem player that's not going along with team strategy. But most esports teams, if they're playing in a group of 5, it's the group of 5. If they're playing in a group of 6, it's the group of 6. They don't really, there isn't like a whole benching alternate like culture.
And if you're doing that, and if you're an organized esports team, then you've certainly worked all this out. But I guess the high profile things where you're looking at a gathering of, again, people that are put together based on, you know, their like as an influencer tournament goes, they're not necessarily going to have gelled synergy, you know, but you're going to have these moments of like, I only learned the one thing and I'm just going to stick to that, and if I can't play that, then I'm not entering this, or what, you know, the whole deal, right? And I mean, to some degree, like the Slam could face that problem, and has versions of that where you're like, oh well, I play Alawi and you play Alawi, and okay, which one of us is going to do worse not playing as that character, you know?
Yeah, so like when I did the first Slam, me and Shumimi both played Teemo and Blitz. Like she was, I was seed 2 and she was seed 4, and we were matched up on a bunch of matches. And the answer was, okay, how much better am I with Teemo versus how much better am I with Blitz? And the answer was, I was much significantly better with Teemo than I was with Blitz, and she was about the same with both characters. Therefore, it made sense for me to play Teemo with her matches, and she would play Teemo with like Cloud's matches and stuff like that.
I am a liability to the team if I'm forced to play the worst character.
I think you're running into a systemic problem that you want to solve structurally, but you can't because it's actually a cultural issue.
Well, there's a high level actual feature that could be implemented into the game that would solve this. It's called "Don't be a piss baby."
A gun?
Don't be yeah. Put your diapers on like a big boy.
Yeah.
And don't piss everywhere, and leave the mess for everyone to clean up. Right? That is actually the highest level solution to this. However, failing that system, perhaps something in second place. Pissbaby with a gun appears to be an unfortunate bug occurring at every high-profile tournament.
I would say Pissbaby with a gun is a bug appearing at all levels of society.
As designed.
Yeah, it's not a bug though; it is a feature. That being said, so I have seen a microcosm of this scenario happen in league matches personally, to which I believe that it's like, no matter how you would like to structurally solve this, you actually have to culturally or behaviorally solve it, because people will always find a way to dig their heels in the ground.
Yeah.
So in League, when you queue up, you choose preferences for your role.
Yeah.
You don't lock in on your role. You choose a preference. And so I would choose top and jungler, right? Those are the two roles that I'm going to try and learn, and those are the ones that I feel more comfortable playing. And then it would matchmake you, and then it would toss you into a fucking room, and it'd be like, "Congrats, Pat! You have been assigned support.
You are bottom."
And I'm like, you
are power bottom,
right? And I'm like, okay, I'll grab Thresh or whoever, right? And I'll do my best, right? But I would load in to matches in which I'm like, I'm gonna play top, and I got top. And then as soon as you load in, a guy starts crashing out. It says, "Give top." And I'm like, no. First of all, no, sir. Sir,
we're just shortening the. All right.
There's no time. There's no time.
Can't get no prepositions going. Can't get it. Nope.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Give top now.
Give top. Give top.
Yeah.
Give it
now. And I'm like, I don't want to. And the solution to that is that I pick Darius or whoever, right? And then also pick a character that's top.
Yeah. And then you have
then
the
they
stare down.
go into the top lane with me and say, get the fuck out of my lane, as the whole room just starts to scream at them. And then they just either stop moving or just intentionally feed. Like, you can't make people if they're gonna. And so, like, the actual solution to this is a management solution, which is don't include people on your team who are negative team players, regardless of their skill, because their poor team synergy will harm everyone else. Like, this is a workplace thing too. Like, if you have the top performer at your office who is such an asshole that all the new hires quit.
Yeah.
It's a net loss.
Losing exactly. You're losing at the end. I think that you're looking at something too where there's moments where you can have rules that are not in the system or in the game, but do apply to a professional's context. So this is something that can also be a discussion with everyone going into the event, going, hey, if you have a conflict over which character to play, don't be a fucking asshole about it while you're playing on the team, which is, I mean, tall order for some people, unfortunately.
Maybe this situation should have been discussed and solved before the critical moment.
But there's rules where you'll have things like, okay, if you want to change stages or seats or sides at an Evo, for example, and you can't agree, both players on what's what, then the judge comes in and they make the call on that. Or there's a and they kind of worked through, these are all the types of conflicts we've had between players before outside of the match itself playing out, and this is where a ref will come in and do the thing or whatever. So coming into the rules of a public high profile tournament like this, there should be stuff to make this shit not happen, because it just is crazy every time it does.
That being said, I've also been in games in which, like, someone makes a bad play and a team member just goes, you did that on fucking purpose, you piece of shit, and then you also sabotages it. Like you cannot, you like, everything about MOBA and MOBA adjacent, like, are like perfectly designed by some kind of evil robot to, like, activate the most petty toxic elements of certain people's brains. You lock in, you're stuck here, everybody else has to play perfectly. There's a snowballing factor, right? Like, if you snowball in like a MOBA with statistical increases, yeah, it can be bad. But even in Rivals, I've played games of Rivals where, like, there's no way we could ever crawl this back. We're being pushed all the way back to the fucking spawn. How am I supposed to make a play when I can only exit out of these two doors?